think Dave was heading back, that he was going to head back early, and then there was a few changes, so Dave got put back. Yeah, I went back on the 15th, and to be fair, more hours, it's been more busy than it ever was. Not actually doing any more work, Sean. It's just that the days took up with the appropriate paperwork, doing the appropriate forms, being tested with your temperature, putting the right PPE on to do what's it. So the jobs are actually taking longer. We're not getting any more done, but the days becoming longer, Sean, are they?
Yeah, okay, Neil. Yeah, I can imagine, you know, with all the safety measurements and your temperatures and everything else. It's just how it is, isn't it? I'm sure it's the same, but I'm glad you're back to work and you're working, all of you. You've got to do something, haven't you? I'm always work 7 days a week, but I can pick and choose, you know. I just do domestic chores, what I've got to do. Get them out of the way, Neil, Dave and Tony and Mark, and then, you know, I can play a bit of radio. So I'm very lucky.
Yeah, okay. Well, we all share the common denominator, which is myself. Mike works in a care home. I think Dave's wife, Donna, is key worker, works somewhere as well, and obviously your wife works in a care home, so that's the three common denominators. But yeah, I don't know how they actually do it and wear the mask 10, 11 hours a day. I don't know how they do it, but still, never mind. Anyway, we'll put it over to Tone to give you the shout, Sean. Round to you, Tony. M0 video, 20 Kilo Alpha Right.
Yes. Okay. M0 video. Good evening, Sean. M3 SXV. Long time no. Hello here. Trust all's well with you. I know how you feel with that cold. We had it, the kids brought it home from school here. God, blimey. Went through the house here, and it was a scary time, really, because what's going on in the world as well. But there we go. Yeah, good signal, Sean. You're a good solid 5 and 9, and lovely to hear you back on the air. M3 SXV. This is M0 video.
Lovely, Tony. Good evening to you. M0 video, M3 SXV in the group there. Well, nice to hear you, Tony. Yeah, we're getting by. We're getting on with it. You've got no choice, have you, really? All of us. We just get on with it. And I hope you and the family's keeping well. And yeah, well, you know what the kids are like, not being nasty. We love them to be, but we do they do bring things home from school and so on. So you just do it, Tony.
Thank you, Sean. I'm eating some cornflake cakes. What's that, sir? Yeah, good stuff, Sean. Well, lovely to hear you on, and lovely to know all is well with you as well, Phil. So there we go. Anyway, I believe the master of ceremonies is Mr. Mark, M0MRR. So if I put it back to you, we can all fall in line.
Zero, video, zero, returning. No, I think it's Neil, actually. When I've listened to Neil in the last week or two, Neil takes order. He has a running order and repeats what it is, and he's very, very ordered. So I think it's got to be Neil. But Sean, yeah, nice saying hello to you, mate. And it has been a little while since we spoke. In fact, I think one evening I pinged you an email, but I don't think you got it straight away. So you need to let me know whether your email is current on qrz.com, because I do hear you every now and then pipe up and say hello to people. And I think, I'm not going to call in because it's someone else's frequency and I don't want to chase them, but or I was trying to catch you on occasion, but I couldn't. So I pinged you an email on one occasion in the hope that we would catch up, but we didn't. But nice saying hello to you. And Neil, I'll add a fourth denominator in there, in the sense that there's a station prevention department here. Yes, is a nurse. So yes, there's another common denominator, if that's the right way Anyway, everyone's a very, very good signal. And Dave, I hope it's a little bit brighter because I left it on the setting that you suggested. M0, SKA, M0, NRR.
Oh, there you go. Couldn't find the switch. Yeah, there's still something just not right for me on that, but it's definitely brighter. I don't know what it is. I'm getting like are you hearing it, Neil? Just, I don't know, a bit muddy somewhere, but it might just be my old ears. But it's good audio, but yeah, might just need a tweak or two. We're always tweaking, so yeah, doesn't matter, does it? And I was going to mention something to... Oh, yeah, well, my wife, Neil, she works in a secure hospital, medium secure unit, with some really nice people. You can imagine. Yeah, and she's worked... Well, she was off for 2 or 3 weeks, and we thought she'd got COVID, but... Whether she had or she hadn't, she tested negative, but that doesn't mean anything, does it? But yeah, she's still ploughing on, keeps going, so can't complain. So, but somebody's got to do it, haven't they, Neil?
Yeah, so well, my wife works for
What's that, Mark?
Well, it's for special needs, really. Yeah, special needs and special needs disabled. Some that can't talk, can't communicate, bits and pieces. That's what she does. She looks after 10 on nights, but they're divided up between them. There's 6 in one bit and 4 in the other. So they've got the lodge and then the other, so they take it in turns on the night shifts. But she's off now, Dave, to be fair, so yeah.
Muszę posłuchać, co ty mówisz. Pozdrawiam najlepszego, jakby co to tam w kontakcie telefonicznym.
Might be lacking a little bit, maybe bottom a little bit.
Bottom heavy and lacking a little bit in the yeah, I can't put my finger on it, but yeah, I don't know. Tony had more of a listen to it, but I think it's possibly, it's emphasised a little bit heavy on the bottom, which Mark likes to hear, and yeah, it may be lacking a little bit in the mids. There's top ends there, but I think it's just, I think the mids have been squoze a little bit. I don't know. I'm trying to put my finger on it. I'm still listening.
It could be. I'm not quite sure what I'm doing and what I'm not doing yet. So I've put a picture. In fact, I sent 2 signatures. The first one was very clear. The lighting isn't brilliant. So hopefully you can make that out. But yeah, it's all the fun and playing with it, isn't it? And it's a journey. So as I go through it, it will get there. It'll be tweaked. Then probably after I've listened to all of you, I'll probably change something and wreck it again. But it's just running flat through the radio. They've got no TXEQ. I've got no processor. It's just running flat directly into the EQ. Sorry, directly into the radio. Back to you.
Sorry, I'm trying to connect the headphones up at the same time so I can have an intense listen. Any comments, Tom?
I sent him a message on WhatsApp. Sorry, I'm eating as well at the same time. Yeah, I sent you a WhatsApp message. Move the message. You'll see what I've put on. We could try like that. Just lessen the octave on the number one frequency, which is I think 44.8 you're using.
Yeah, he's already dropped that down from before. It was on +6. He's put that down.
No, the octave, not the, oh my days.
I think he went to +4 or +3. I may be wrong, but I don't know. Is that what you did last time, Mark?
No. Not the game now. I'm on about the octaves.
Yeah, but the octave's only a half anyway, isn't it?
No. Yeah, just try it. I run mine at 1/4.
Okay, so you're going to know. Okay, yeah. I thought I thought it was at half anyway.
Yeah, so make sure I've got it, which I do. So it's on half at the moment, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn that valley down to 1/3. So I'll just waffle just a tad. So this is on 44.8, Tony and Neil, and I've dropped down the octave from a half to a third, 1/3, and the gain is still +4 dB. But this is with a 1/3 octave. Back to you.
Yeah, I like that. I like where that is, Mark. I think that again helps with any of the rumbles, and just much better. I'm not detecting any darkness at all now. Round to you, Dave.
Yeah, okay. That's definitely better. I could hear it. I could hear it straight away. The change. It's brightened everything up there. But yeah, I'm not sure about the bottom end. I think there's too much in the bottom end. For my ears, I think there's too much in the bottom end. But I don't know. What do you think, Neil?
Well, I think he could take a bit off again. Yeah, definitely. He's got what have you got it at? +4.
Yeah, so it's on plus. So it's 44.8. That's the bottom end frequency. Octave is now down to 1/3, and the gain is still on +4. Neil, back to you.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd probably. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's a strange one because some people emphasise it a lot. And having spoke to you, you haven't got that's been put in. Yeah, speaking to you on the phone, and when I spoke to you in real life, you haven't got what you've got there. So something is emphasised heavy on the bottom end. There's something heavy on the bottom end, Tone. I can't put my finger on it.
Maybe that's why I'm saying that, because speaking to Mark in real life, and on the radio it's different, but maybe that's why I'm saying that, Nelly.
Well, that's the same, because I've met him in real life. I stood right next to him, you know what I mean? And we had a conversation for a good half an hour, 3/4 of an hour, and we were talking. And I talk to him quite a lot on the phone when he phones me, and I've always got him on loudspeaker, which I know's on the phone. But yeah, in here, you can hear him. It's always dark on here. I don't know. And I'm like, I'm 5K wide, and my filter's at 15K on the roofing filter. And I'm not. I've even got the headphones on now. I tried to listen to the difference on the tabloid speaker and on the headphones, and it's still, yeah, it's always sounded slightly dark. Yeah, it might be. It's the radio transmit, because even when we
you guys are back on the live stream
on the 781, you were slightly dark, but you're not as dark as you are now. Do you know what I mean? So some frequencies there has been bumped up on the bottom end. I don't know, or
80 hertz.
When you're using the multi-band compressor in the 2496, it's not compressing the low end at all now, at all. I don't think it's compressing it at all. I don't know, but then it would change when you put a triple C. So I don't know. Tone will explain it better, because Tone's got, well, he messes more than me. He's got more time.
Indeed.
I turned on the live stream, guys.
What? I don't. Somebody made a comment then, sorry. I think maybe. You've not got any room left on the PQ to do this, but I've noticed you've got no cut at 80 hertz, Mark. Do you use the Do you use the GEQ? That's the Golf Echo Quebec. Do you use the GEQ at all, Mark?
No, I don't. So at the moment it's still on the third octave, and just guys, just before we move on to that, if I want to save these settings and leave the set where it is at the moment, because it's made perhaps a marginal difference. What is it? Just the memory button that I press to save the settings of what I've got now?
Indeed, it is. If you press the memory button, that should then bring up the selections of what you saved, however you name them. Select which one you want. Excuse me. Select which one you want, and then follow the buttons to the left of the screen on the 2496, and that'll let you just store and OK and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, good. Yes, I remember now. Yes, and I've done that. So what we've just done, I've saved into it. But in answer to your question, no, I don't use the GEQ.
Okay, so for me now, if you could, if you press the GEQ button, you will see the screen changed onto.
Got a phone call.
To what I can only describe as it goes from 20 hertz up to 20k. But you've got an 80 hertz in there that we could just put in a minute, and just to see if it helps. But it's difficult for me because I'm not detecting the darkness that Dave mentioned. I'm not hearing any of that. I think it sounds absolutely spot on where it is.
Yeah, it's and that can change because can't it, between paths and signal strengths and what have you. But what is a GEQ? I've not heard of one of those before. Or I know the PEQ is the parametric, and the DEQ, I think that's the compression. But the GEQ, is that like just a general equaliser?
The graphic equaliser it is, Mark.
Okay, yeah, so yes, I've got that. I see that there goes 20, 40, 80, 160, etc. So there is an 80 part there.
Yeah, you see, we could go. You could highlight 80 with the large jog wheel, and then you move one of the. I can't remember which knob it is now. The top small one or the bottom small one, to go up or down on that. You need to be into the minus, but I would only say it needed. You wouldn't want to go to more than -4 on it. You could try doing that, and then you need to press and hold the GEQ button to get the light to light up to say it's activated.
Yes, I can do that now. So I can change that down to, and the lights come on as I'm turning it. So the gain on 80 is now -4 M0 VDO M0 MRR.
Yeah. Okay. I can hear the changes you've made there. So don't save anything for a minute. But I didn't think it needed it, to be honest. It's right to you now.
Yes, I can hear the difference straight away. Give us a bit more of an over, Mark, please. Don't save it yet, but give us a bit more of an over.
Yeah, no worries. So this is, I'll just put the gain back up to 0. So this is the default setting, 0, and I'm taking it down to -4. So this is -4 on 80 hertz using the GEQ button, and this is how it's sounding in my monitor phones. I've not quite got the ears yet to pick it up. It does sound a little bit different in the monitor phones, but I need to listen to it a little bit more, I guess. But this is with -4 on 80. Back round to you, Neil, from M0 MRR.
SKA has matured.
Did you hear that? No, let's go.
Yes. Sounds better. But I wish we had a quiet frequency. There's too much bloody QRM. But it's taken that rumble out, don't you think, Evan?
I think it's took the boom, 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 boom out where it was bobbing. like, I can only explain it as bobbing every now and again on certain words that he was doing, and it was dark. He was like that. To me, I mean, Tony said he couldn't hear it, but I don't know whether Tony's listening to his cams or his KRKs, but that sounds better to me. That sounds more like Mark on the phone, you know, because Mark hasn't got that much of a deep voice tone, honestly.
Yeah, okay. Well, I can hear it's making a difference with the 80 hertz. But I didn't think it was too heavy before. But again, as Mark said, different paths, propagation, all those things, they all add into the mix of, you know, changing how one is receiving the other. And you're 8 to 4K, Mark, aren't you?
Yes, I think I am. I'm just going to check that. Yes, 100 to 4K. Back to you.
Yeah, okay, 3.9 overall, fine. That's fine. And Dave, you're listening out at 4 on the 5000, yeah?
Yeah, I've got it fully wound out at 4K.
Cool. There we go then. Cool. And there is people underneath us as well. I could hear them burbling away. I think that's what you're referring to, Dave, yeah. It ain't the quietest on you, is it?
No, it's just annoying. And, yeah, I thought we haven't... Sean, are you still there? Apologies, over.
No, he's shut off.
Oh, right, I didn't hear him. I was just worried about leaving him there. But, yeah, that, to me, sounds more like Mark than before. I don't know. It depends on what you want to be heard like, Mark, over.
Well, I don't mind in some respects, but if both of you are saying that you've spoken to me and that sounds more like me, and that's how I guess that's how I would prefer to be, because when I speak to you guys on the phone, you both sound the same on the phone as what you do on the radio. It would be, in fact, Dave, if particularly with yourself, Dave, if you sounded as you do now, and then on the phone you sounded a lot older or younger, and put a big age discrepancy between us, I'd be kind of disappointed. So it's yeah, I think if you're saying that that's how it is, I think I would probably prefer to sound how I do on the phone as much as anything else. Back to you.
Yeah, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking you haven't got any bass in there and no bottom end. But that's completely wrong. You have got the bass, but where you had it before, it was just too much. I'm going to explain this to you. Right, I'm going to go over to the ribbon mic. So, but I'm going to leave the EQ in. I'm going to leave the EQ in for this mic. Okay, there you go. So you can hear that the bottom end there is really pronounced, isn't it? But that's how much I'm having to put out. So I'm going to come back to the condenser mic. It's artificial, Mark, over.
Yes, yeah, that's quite a distinct difference. I know the band conditions are a bit low, but I did hear that. So on the mic you went to, it sounded quite bassy and a little bit muffled, is probably the way I would describe it.
Yeah, well, that's the effect I was getting with you. But, yeah, I prefer that. Do you, Nelly, over?
I prefer it as it is, and that's how I speak to him. That's how I prefer it. I mean, you know, some people might disagree. Everybody, and like I've always said, other people, and we've all got different ears, so we all hear slightly different to what we hear. But to me, that's how I hear Mark on the phone. If I can say that, then, you know, I could obviously recognise Mark when he walks up to me and he starts speaking. If he just come up to me and started speaking to me and didn't introduce himself and just started speaking, I would go, oh, that's Mark. Do you know what I mean, Dave?
Yeah. Another thing, last night we had a WhatsApp chat, Mark, because the band dropped out. And everybody, there were 6 of us on there, and everybody I listened to just sounded like they did on the radio. Okay, you've got your little bit of enhancement, but everybody sounded like they did on the radio. You recognise the voices. So that's where I'm coming from, Mark. Over.
Yeah, good, and I appreciate very, very much your time in setting it up. So Tony, do I press this memory button then?
Yes, go for it. Go through the same procedure as you just did. Now, obviously, just for your reference, I'll cut that bloody dog. Just for your reference, you'll now have the GEQ and the PEQ lights lit up, but that's not a problem because you're using it. So there we go. So go through that procedure and save away.
I've done that, and I've now got 4 lights lit up. So I've got the GEQ, the PEQ, the DEQ, and the DYN. Because I've just got a very slight amount of downward expansion, and of course I fit up the 3-pound compressor the other day, so I've got 4 lights lit up on the 2496. But there you go, good stuff. M0 VDO, M0 MRR.
Yeah, there we go, Mark. If you're happy with that, then perfect. It does. I think you've made the low end more transparent. Is the word. It's not a constant. Think back to the days of where you could hear a 15-inch sub about I don't know, a mile away up the road. That's what it was before. And now your low end is still there, but it's there on certain words when the voice naturally drops. So that's my impression of what I'm hearing now. So yeah, you've got a natural low end roll off, if you like, how your voice would do it naturally. So there we go. That's how I hear it now. And I think the other two will concur. Back round to you. I think is it your go now, Dave?
Yeah, that was very well explained. That, Tony. Yeah, transparent. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, it's nice. Now I don't know if it's conditioned, but I'm still not convinced about your audio level, Mark. But it could be just
You're on the live stream, guys.
the more Tony and Neil just seem to be that little bit louder, but that could just be conditioned.
Is he going in the rear end?
What do you think, Neil?
Yeah, he's going in the rear end. Tony's doing the same way as mine, but he's not using a DI box, he's using the W2HY. So, yeah, you know what the problem was when you had, what the problem was with the audio transformer, Tone, if you remember.
Okay, so where are you seeing the deflection for the ALC, Mark? Where's that going to?
Yeah, so with the compression on, so now it's more or less below the end of the red line on the ALC meter. On some syllables it still goes higher, but after Marky did all the compression settings, it drops below it. And I know if I turn up the drive in the back, so the audio levels in the back, audio input levels at 30. If I turn it up, so it's on 30 now, and I'll show you real time as to what it will be. If I turn it up to
that must be on 40.
To about 40, I know it raises, and I'll just leave it on that for the moment. It raises the ALC, but I'm more shooting into the red more frequently than when it's on 30. Back to you.
Yeah. Okay. So I can't remember where I have mine set. So what about the potentiometer that you have on the W2HY box, the audio transformer, that is? There is a potentiometer on those, isn't there? What about, is that set, Mark? Is it halfway? Is it 9 o'clock position, or have you got it cranked all the way open?
I've got it cranked all the way open. And just a question for you, just before I play with it. Has that made a difference to the audio? Is it louder?
Yes. To me it is. What do you think, Dave?
Yeah, definitely louder. And I tell you what I couldn't understand. Your signal, Mark, was down tonight and the other night. And I think it's because you're not driving the radio hard enough with the audio. But it's definitely, now you've put that gain up into the radio, you're filling the envelope now, and the signal's more full. So you're peaking at a higher signal strength. Yeah, I know where Mark's going with this, so I'll put it back round to Mark and find out where the mic gain setting is. Round to you, Mark.
Well, I'll tell you where that needs to be, and personal preference. I've spent ages adjusting the mic gain. I'm sorry if I'm doubling. Am I doubling?
No, you go.
I'll tell you what now. That's the first time you've apologised for doubling. Get in there.
Shut up, Tom. Right, what I used to do is, me and Tony always used to run at about 50, 55. But I've found now that if I run at 48, so what you've got to do, Mark, is that audio transformer that you've got, I don't agree with it being flat out. I don't agree with that.
Well,
I think that should be back down to about 3/4, then put your mic gain up to about 48.
Yeah, okay, so I can do that, and I'm just like shooting right over the top on the end of it, so I'm just winding it down and it's a very, very temperamental little dial, so you've got to play with it quite a lot. So I'm just turning it down, just turning it down, just turning it down, and just turning it down, and just turning it down, and this is M0 MRR. This is it's now only period. Actually, no, it's still overshooting the red a little bit. So I'll just turn it down just a little bit more. So this is M0 MRR, and it's only overshooting it a little bit now, as opposed to all the time. Back to you there, Neil, from M0 MRR.
QSK.
Yeah, acknowledge, just stand by. Tone, I don't get that. That audio transformer, yeah, it shouldn't still be overshooting, because if it's going in at line level, it shouldn't be causing any problems.
Yeah, but he's not line level now, is he? Because he's turned the potentiometer down, so he's now using the transformer. He'll only be line level when that transformer's wound all the way open now, yeah?
Yeah, I don't know, because the other thing about it is, you know when we used to use, and you'll remember, Tone, when we used to use the 892, or you used the 892, you had the microphone going into the mic 2200. Now, your output gain on the mic 2200, you always used to lose at 0, and then turn the input drive to about 42. Mark is having to turn the output drive up to about 6 or 8, plus that, then going through the 2496, then going through the EX3200, then going through the virtualizer, then into the DI box. I can't understand why he's having to put the output on the mic 2200 up higher.
What about the pad on the mic?
Oh, is there a pad on that NT 2A?
Yeah.
I didn't know that, Dave. I thought it was the same as mine. I didn't think there was a pad.
Mark, on the mic, where are you set? 0, minus, is it 10, and minus 5? Where are you set on the mic, Elder?
Yeah, it's at 0.
Oh, right. Well, that's blown that theory out of the water.
Do you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying, Tom? We always used to run it 0, so there's no output on the mic 2200.
Yeah, but what you'll probably find is with the NT2A is now, I think. So let me get this right now. You're having to run the first dial on the 2200, the input gain, or whatever you want to call it, the mic gain. That's running flat out, is it, Mark?
No, so it's running almost flat out though, it's running between, I think it says, is it 50 and 60? So it's in between the last two, the last number which is up high, and the one below that. So it's running up in between the last two numbers, and it's on plus 6 dB for the output.
Yeah, okay. So you're having the same issue as John M7 RSD has. That microphone's very gain hungry. So in order for John, because he bought the Electrovoice RE27 off me, and he was just struggling to drive the damn thing, doing exactly the same as you. Basically, the mic gain on the 2200 was all the way flat open, and he was having to use some output gain just to make up a bit more. So, in order to stop that happening, there is only one thing you can do. Well, there's two. You can buy a preamp with a bit more gain, so that'll give you some more headroom. Or you can buy what I sold to John, which is called a cloud lifter, and you put that in line, and you end up with it gives you plus 25 dB of gain. And so, in theory, then, you know, you can run that microphone. Then you could put the output back to 0. And then you could run the gain at, you'll probably get away with anywhere from sort of 35 to 40 dB on the dial. But it's working how it is. There's nothing wrong with that at all, and the output gain is there to be used. It's just not something I ever did or would possibly like doing. So that is the only options on that piece of equipment, Mark. Yeah.
Yeah, received. So, okay. Just out of curiosity, so in fact, as I'm looking at the output, I need to just wind it down just a tad more. Yeah, that's better. So this is Mike 0, Mike Romeo Romeo. Has the volume of my output dropped to you, Tony? Because it's now not overshooting the red at all from M0 MRR.
No, not at all. No. No, it's still stayed the same. It's definitely louder, that's for sure.
Why can't you put the gain out of the 2496?
Oh, yeah. I forgot about something, Tone. He's added 2 pieces of equipment since the output gain. The output gain was set on the 2496. So it might be that the output gain's not going far enough to drive the other 2 pieces of equipment properly. Do you get what I mean?
So what you're saying then, you've been in the utility menu and gone to gain offset. Is that right, Mark?
No, I've not gone there at all. I haven't. And actually, I'm very curious now because in my monitor headphones, because I'm monitoring the transmit output. It's gone a lot quieter since I turned the dial on the iBox by W2IHY, but I take it you're still receiving me at the same sort of volume levels. And no, I haven't gone into the utility yet. Back to you, Tony, from 0 MRR.
Yeah, okay. Well, the volume of the audio doesn't seem to have changed to me since you've increased that. What do you think, Dave?
It did increase initially. I can't remember what you did, but now it's back down to where it was. But I think you've because you've changed it, put the ALC down. That's probably why, Mark. Yeah, I'm just wondering if
increase the box. The
I don't know that output from the 2496. But I might be barking up the wrong tree. Yeah, it might just be worth trying that.
Yeah, because
so just
when he first set it up, he had the
W2IHY box,
and then he had the 2496. Now he's going through
so it's now only very
ES3200,
into the red,
and then he's going through the virtualization, so he could lose a slight bit of output gain going into
massive difference.
The DI box. So that's why he's running the DI box flat out.
Yeah, lovely double there now, you and Mark. But it was an accidental one. We'll let you off. What was I going to say now? Hang on, wait there. The dog's gone out, so I can shut the door. He's gone out for a bit of bait. Look, from my understanding of the TS890, okay, it's a new beast, a whole new beast for Kenwood, their latest offering, of course. And from what I'm led to believe, that radio does not mind having some ALC. John G0TI White, he had one. He's got more than I'll ever know. You know, he is one clever beast of a man, I'll tell you, there he is. So, and much testing that he did, basically you needed to, he didn't mind being driven. Now, go back to the 950 SDXs and stuff. They don't like any drive at all on the ALC. You don't need to see any. It's weird, but I know that newer 890, the new 890, needs to be driven. So if you're just occasionally on the high peaks, clipping in that red, then yeah, it sounds spot on where it is to me. You're now getting your full output power back now. I'd be just glancing over to the output drive on the other units in the shack, which I'm sure you know what I mean, the linear and everything, and you'll probably notice a vast difference, Mark, yeah? Sorry for the long waffle.
No, I appreciate long waffle, and yeah, I'll leave it where it is now. In my headphones, I can hear the output has come right up. So on the monitor speakers, I've just got the phones plugged in. I've got the monitor function on the radio, and I can hear it up. So I might just I'll fiddle with it here. Originally, Neil did suggest actually just turning down the iBox very slightly, incrementally, and it's a real it's not easy to do because you're almost right at the end of the dial as you're turning it down, but it was fiddly, so I'm doing that, and you could be right. It could be just the microphone is the drive level on the microphone just needs a lot to drive it, which is why I've got it turned up. And actually, when I think about it, on the Scarlett preamp that I had to drive turn that almost up full to get the drive out of the microphone. So it could just be the mic. It just needs a lot on it to drive it. So yes, I might leave it where it is at the moment, just to keep it happy. On the rear.
I don't know where your ALC swings to now, but the time I had the radio, I tested myself, and yes, you could get it to work with no ALC or hardly any ALC movement, but some of the dynamics in your audio were missing when you didn't drive the ALC properly. So it's obviously the more modern circuitry in that radio that requires it to be driven. End of, I think. There you go. I could be just waffling a load of old rubbish, and could be wrong, but there we go. Yeah, cool, but it definitely sounds better. The overall transmission, you're a lot louder. And you're back to where I remember you always being, to be honest, sort of signal strength voice, and the sound is lovely. Sounds lovely. So I've waffled far too much. My amplifier's whinging at me. The temperature's going up on it. I can watch the electric meter go down. M0 SKA. Come on, Dave. Let's hear them dulcets from M0 video.
I'm not sure. Was that a break then? I'm not sure. We'll find out in a minute. But someone did call in with a comment, but I didn't quite catch it. But yeah, okay. Yeah, maybe just turn the gain up on the radio, Mark, and as Tony said, or get one of those inline
Hello.
Fitted on the Tony. I've seen those. But I just use, I've got two Ultra Gain Mic 100 with the 12AX7 in there. That's what I use for the mic preamp on both of these mics. So that's all I'm using. I don't really have any trouble with line level. But there you go. So I'll put it over to you, Nelly. And I don't know if there was a break there, so you may have caught it. 2E0KAX M0SKA.
Golf 0 X-ray, Bravo Uniform.
Guys, you on the live stream again here in Brussels, over?
Mine is at 48, which is where yours is. So I don't know whether I've gone louder or signal shouldn't have changed. Probably might have gone louder. But I still can't kill the ALC. So hang on, let's come out of it. Escape. 1, 2. I'm just touching it almost to the end, and I do every now and again 1 red bar mark. If that's what you mean, mate. Over.
That's the same as is then now.
Is that the same now, Mark? Just ALC and then 1 red bar.
Yeah, no, actually, I'm when I exceed the ALC, it will shoot, and sometimes it'll shoot not quite to the very end, but it overshoots it quite a lot by several red bars, but not consistently. So as I'm speaking, it does and it doesn't. So yeah, it's a little bit of a balancing act, I think. I think actually these monitor headphones are a good indication of when I'm driving the thing or whether I'm not driving it. And when I turn the rear audio input at the back of the radio down, well, I think it does make a difference to the volumes. For the signal strength is there. It's just the loudness of how you're speaking drops quite a lot. They've been my observations over the last 2 or 3 weeks, much like what Dave M0SKA was saying. They've been my observations. Back to you, Neil.
Okay, so as mine changed, I was on 45 and I'm now on 48, so I've added 3 to it to the back end of the input. So that's put the gain up by 3 dB. So I don't know, but I can't drive it I can't get it any harder, and I'm like speaking right up. And I'm not clipping anything on the rack, Mark.
Clip it, Neil. Put it up to 55 or 60.
Hold on then.
There was a G0 station called in. He was calling you, Mark, I think.
Yeah, I just wanted for Neil to do that. And good evening, Ian, G0XBU. Ian is a very nice chap, Tony and Dave and Neil. Ian got my Adam 10 and got that off me. So good evening, Ian. I just wanted to hear Neil coming back on this. He's just setting up this stuff. And Ian, if whilst you're just listening there, if you have a look on QRZ, you can see a couple of the different toys that I've recently got. Back to you, Neil, from M0MRR.
Okay, that's at 55 now, Mark. 55, over.
I need a longer over from you, but when you first transmitted to me, because signals have dropped a little bit, but you peaked just over the 9 to me, but I'd need to listen to it a little bit more regularly, and then perhaps if it was a longer over, you can leave the menu settings on, and you can dial it up and you can dial it down whilst you're speaking, and there'll be an easier comparison to make.
Okay, well that's doing quite a bit into the ALC, that is now. 55 is like 5 or 6 red balls, Mark, over.
Yeah, so Neil, give us a longer transmission and leave it at, and keep it on 55 to start with, and then wind it back down to 40.
Okay then, right, so M0MRR with M0 video, M0SKA, 2E0 kilo alpha X-ray, testing audio and messing about with the audio net. So that's at 50, 55 on the ACC input connectors. So every now and again I am killing the ALC with about 5, maybe 7 red bars mark over.
Yeah, go on and just wind it down and let us know what you're winding it down to.
Okay, right. So
No
we're in the menu now, and we're at 55. So I'm going to go down to where I normally was, which was about 45. Excuse me. So that's 45 on the input on the back mark. So 45 in ACC2 input level, 45 M0 MRR, M0 video, M0 SKA, 2E0 Kilo Alpha X-ray, and your other friend I think was G0, and I didn't catch the rest of his call. So that's 45 on the input mark, over.
Yeah, so to me, Neil, I can't tell the difference. When you're on 55, you were hitting a 9 and a bit over, and as you wound it down, it's gone down to hitting a 9 maybe. But it could be conditions. It's I couldn't tell the difference, but I didn't detect any reduction in the audio volume. Swinging around to you, Tony.
Yeah, okay. Well, first and foremost, your audio now, Mark, where that level is fine. I would be locking and loading that. I would leave that as it is. It's louder. It's yeah, just everything. You can hear more dynamics in there. So I think it is proof of the pudding that radio needs to be driven a bit harder, ALC wise. So there we go. And I'll tell you one other thing I was going to mention to you. You may or may not know this. If I'm telling you how to suck eggs, tell me to do one. But the monitor circuit in that Kenwood TS890, I find this, that